The US Navy is hit by another incident after it lost two aerial platforms on Sunday. MH-60 Seahawk helicopter and F-18 Super Hornet fighter jet. US Pacific Fleet in a statement informed that at about 2:45 p.m. local time, a US Navy MH-60R Seahawk helicopter went down from the carrier. They were lost from USS Nimitz aircraft carrier in just a span of 30 minutes' time. The two separate accidents occurred when the carrier group was conducting routine operations in South China Sea while deployed in South China Sea region.
A radar lock hits an MH-60S Seahawk flying legal airspace, and the cockpit goes quiet. No reply on guard. Flares pop. Fighters dive. You've got seconds to decide: hold course or break and bleed altitude. Today, we dissect the claimed intercept near the Spratlys, and the twist that the confirmed close pass actually targeted a Philippine patrol plane with a Reuters journalist on board near Scarborough Shoal. Stay with me to learn how a Seahawk's radar signature can get mistaken for a drone, and the exact de-escalation calls U.S. crews train to execute when the wrong blip triggers the right kind of panic.
F-18 Super Hornet fighter jet was assigned to the Fighting Redcocks of Strike Fighter Squadron 22 that also went down. The crash prompted an emergency response, and all three crew members were safely rescued. The statement further read that at about 3:15 p.m. local time after the first incident, crash that led to the ejection of both pilots from the aircraft, who were later rescued as well. The US Navy added that all 5 personnel involved in the accident were now safe and stable condition.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Aviation mishap cases that have been reported. In December last year, the guided missile cruiser USS Gettysburg mistakenly shot down FA-18 jet from Truman in a friendly fire incident, while the cause of both incidents is still under investigation. While both crashes ended without loss of life, they come at a time when the Navy is already contending with a strong...
If a helicopter looks like a drone on a scope, what happens when the trigger finger trusts the screen over the radio? The MH-60S Seahawk runs a dull, legal leg along the Spratlys. Maritime utility bird. Stub pylons, external stores, a rotor system that hunts for power and speed. It cruises low to stay smooth, riding a lane that keeps it clear of claimed lines and inside international airspace. Nothing flashy. Just the kind of track that blends into the noise until someone decides it doesn't. Meanwhile, a Chinese sensor net sweeps and sorts. The return is small, slow, steady. Low radar cross-section. No swing in course. On a busy scope, that plot lands in the same bin many systems reserve for a medium unmanned aircraft. The label sticks. The threat picture hardens. Here's the stack doing the judging. Surface search radars push wide beams across sea clutter. Airborne fire control radars narrow in for a weapon quality track, and ESM ears listen for emissions. If the IFF handshake fails, wrong code, no reply, or filtered, classification algorithms fall back on speed, altitude, and aspect. A guess becomes guidance. Rotors add a trap. Blade flashes alias into Doppler bands that look like a slow prop. At low level, ground return compresses the track, sanding off the human wobble you expect from a crude helo. On a quick look display, that human fades. The machine remains. But then the theater reminds you this isn't theory. Headlines chase a US helo, while the confirmed close intercept locked onto a Philippine Coast Guard patrol plane near Scarborough Shoal. Different airframe, same pressure. Tight calls, close passes, cameras rolling. Visual ID should clean it up, but haze and glare wash silhouettes until the merge. By then, geometry is tight, options are narrow, and everyone is speaking in short, scripted lines. Chinese pilots commit on a radar lock and sovereignty calls. The target answers on guard. Silence, or cross-language garble, pours fuel on a cramped scene. The takeaway is blunt: At certain speeds and heights, a Seahawk can wear a drone skin on a screen, and a bad IFF moment can script the next 20 minutes. Now shift from why the blip fooled sensors to what you do in the cockpit when the lock tone hits and the radios go dead. You hear the spike. No guard reply. Two fighters roll in from your high 2 o'clock. What would you do? You run the playbook. Hold a steady course and speed. Don't yank or dive. Squawk the right code. Key the mic on guard and the maritime channel with your call sign, altitude, and intent. Mark times, bearings, and altitudes on a knee board. Every line becomes evidence later. Your voice stays calm. Your path stays boring. But the intercept tightens. A low pass shakes the cabin. You catch flares in a crossing turn that eats range fast. A helo can't climb with jets, and dash speed tops out quick, so you protect energy like cash in a firefight. Small moves. No lurches. Keep the rotor in its sweet spot. Now the de-escalation calls. Plain language ID. Mission type. Position off known waypoints, plus distance and bearing. State you will remain in international airspace. Ask the nearest ATC to relay and record. Repeat at measured intervals. You're building a record that says you tried to talk. Evasion stays modest. A gentle turn away from any claimed line. Bleed a little altitude to push outside easy weapons parameters without telegraphing a fight. Call your ship for vectors to widen lateral spacing. The goal is lateral miles, not vertical drama. Your ship and squadron stack in. Nearby vessels track on radar, record the passes, and push advisory calls on multiple frecs. Air wing ops scan the ROE, hold combat air patrol at a respectful distance, and avoid a dogpile that could trigger a chain you can't stop. Why silence? Cross-language friction. Sovereignty scripts on the wrong frequency. Deliberate radio discipline. Or the other cockpit is task-loaded at the merge. The Philippine close pass near Scarborough ran close to 20 minutes, long enough for repeated calls, full recordings, and formal protests later. That tempo is by design. Crews trained to ride it out. Payoff: stay predictable, keep talking, log everything, widen the gap. You turn a hair-trigger merge into a documented close pass, not a collision. Payoff: silence can mean frequency mismatch and scripts, not malice. Still deadly at 200 feet. You've seen the mis-ID trap and the cockpit playbook. Now we get to risk when sovereignty claims meet sensor error. The first bad label writes the script. A Seahawk gets tagged as a drone, and the next 20 minutes lock in, tight passes, clipped calls, and a crew that survives by discipline. ID right, talk clean, stay boring. That's your break in crowded seas. Comment your choice below, hold course or break early. If you want deeper tactical breakdowns with real procedures, subscribe now. The South China Sea will test every checklist. Wind, glare, and sovereignty script stack pressure while sensors whisper certainty. We'll keep mapping the risks so you fly the scenario in your head before crews face it for real. Next sortie starts here.